What's up, brunch bestie? Welcome back to Business and Brunch. It is officially 2026, the year of the horse. And in this episode, I am going to help you prepare for 2026 and to help you remove the manifestation blocks that you may currently have so that you are open to receive. The year of the horse is a super powerful year, and by removing these blocks, we're just getting you prepped and ready for this year to be abundant and just so much better than what 2025 was. So if you're listening to this in early 2026, you are already ahead of the game, but honestly, this episode is great for any time of the year, but I want you to hear this clearly. This is not a year for forcing things that are not aligned with you. This is not a year for white knuckling your way to success, okay? We're done with the hustle culture. We're done with burnout. We are just healing from hustle and burnout, okay? This is the year that rewards alignment, momentum, and capacity. So in astrology and the Chinese symbol, 2026 is the year of the horse. And the horse is not about pushing harder. It's about movement, freedom, stamina, and forward motion that feels natural, but not in a way that is making you stay up late at night, overthinking and wondering if you're doing enough. Which is exactly why so many people are going to feel frustrated this year if they try to manifest the same thing in the same way that they always have. So today I'm talking about how to remove your current manifestation blocks so that you can actually receive what this year wants to give you. Everything that you already want, all of your desires are already yours, and they are just waiting for you to become that person who already has it. You get to have your cake and eat it too. And this isn't just a woo-woo spiritual nonsense thing of sitting around and journaling it out. This is actual real brain science, because manifestation isn't just based off of intentions in the universe. It actually starts in your body. It starts with your nervous system. So what does the year of the horse actually require? The horse energy is fast, it's expansive, and it's opportunity for rich. But there is a slight catch. If your internal system is braced, overloaded, or operating from survival mode, speed is going to feel unsafe. You're naturally subconsciously going to self-sabotage your success. So when this happens, opportunities are going to show up. Momentum is available, and your nervous system quietly says, no, thank you. That feels like too much. I'm going to keep doing what is safe for me. And that's not a mindset issue. That is literally your brain doing its job. This year is meant to magnify whatever capacity you have built, which means the work is not asking for more. The work is becoming someone who can receive more. So the first manifestation block that you're going to work on removing is your brain is wired for protection, not possibility. It is natural for our brains to gravitate towards the thing that keeps us safe. So I'm going to dive into a little bit of brain science because I am a bit nerdy here. So your brain has one primary job, and is to keep you alive, essentially. It does not care about your vision board. It does not care about your income goals. It cares about predictability, safety, and conserving energy. So when you say you want more money, more clients, more ease, your brain immediately is like, no, absolutely not. This is going to require something that is uncomfortable. So what we want to do is rewire your brain to the patterns that are going to be new to make it feel safe and comfortable. When you ask yourself, based on what you want to manifest, what you want to receive, what goal you're reaching for, will this require more time, more responsibility, more emotional labor? If that answer feels like a yes and your system is already stretched, your brain is going to create resistance. That resistance shows up as procrastination, self-doubt, overthinking, and suddenly losing motivation. And this is not a reflection on like your work ethic or who you are or how good you are at what you're doing. This is just your nervous system and your brain protecting you. So in the year of the horse, this protection becomes louder if it is not addressed, because things are going to be moving. Things are going to show up for you. Opportunities are just going to come like hotcakes, but you may not see them or be open to receiving them if your nervous system, if your brain has not been rewired to be open to this kind of momentum change to receiving. So the next manifestation block is the identity lag in a year built for momentum. And I see this so often. I've seen it before. A big block is whenever it comes to the identity. You're not in that identity as the person who is able to move with it. If your self-image is still anchored to the version of you who has struggled, hustled, or had to prove herself for the money, for the work that she has received, expansion is going to feel disorienting. Your brain likes familiar identities, even if they are uncomfortable. So if you've always been the one who figures it out under pressure, one of my best examples is if you're someone who waits to finish your to-do list until the very last minute possible. That is exactly why things constantly feel like you're under chaotic pressure. And I saw this exact thing in my business. When things started to feel easier, my nervous system tried to create urgency because that is what I knew. I knew hustle, I knew urgency, I knew the chaos and pressure of like finishing things at the last minute. In 2026, that gap between who you have been and who you are going to become is going to be very noticeable. And this is where you start doing visualization, EFT tapping, journaling, etc., to help rewire your brain to start shifting into that identity. And then on top of the subconscious work, you're also going to start acting as if you are that person. So the awareness starts whenever you begin to rewire your brain, and the emotion happens when you start acting as if that person. So that way your brain is already like, I am this person. Now let's get it done. The next block, the third block that you're going to start removing is receiving requires safety, not effort. This is the part that most manifestation conversations get. Receiving is a physiological state. When you are regulated, your prefrontal cortex is online. You make clearer decisions, you spot opportunities a lot faster, you respond instead of react. But when you are dysregulated, your brain starts to narrow in on its focus. You miss things, you default to old patterns, and you're not able to see the opportunities that are knocking on your door. So if you're trying to manifest from a place of chronic stress or just survival mode that is the only place that you truly know, your brain cannot perceive abundance the same way. This is why calming the nervous system is not just some bougie, trendy thing. It is actually a strategy to help you manifest and become the person that has your desires, that has the life that you want to live. And in a year like 2026, where movement and momentum are amplified, regulation needs to become your core foundation. So being regulated, knowing how to identify when you start getting dysregulated, and being able to pause to do the work to help regulate yourself needs to be a daily natural habit. So the big question, how to prepare yourself to receive in 2026. Here is how you're going to start intentionally removing the blocks. First, I want you to stop asking what you want and start asking what can you hold. Capacity is going to help you create confidence. Secondly, pair every desire with the felt sense of safety. When you visualize more money, also visualize the support, the simplicity, and the presence that comes with it. Your brain needs to know that it does not take 40 hours a week to make six figures. Your brain needs to understand that you can have that simple business, you can have ease, you can rest, and yet your bank account can still grow every single day. And the third is to update your identity intentionally. So who are you becoming this year? How does she move? How does she decide? Identity work is not just journaling it out, doing affirmations, saying, I am someone who makes money every single day. It is subconscious work that rewires your brain to feel safe, to see the change, to be able to say, I am this person. It is acting as if the person that you want to be, that identity every single day. So that way your brain knows nothing else. And at the end of the day, it's repetition, it's embodiment, and it's evidence. This is exactly how I shifted from a pressure-driven growth strategy business into a grounded movement momentum. I stopped trying to convince myself and I started showing my brain that it's possible for new experiences of safety and success to coexist together. And this is how rewiring happens. I personally love to do visualization and EFT tapping. Then I pair it with breath work, and then I pair it with daily actions of acting as if the person who already has it. And I just want to put one little disclaimer, one little disclosure. Whenever I say act as if the person that already has it, I am not meaning go out and spend hundreds of thousands of dollars on a yacht because your dream life is someone who lives on a boat. Because at the end of the day, would your new identity upgrade spend that kind of money if it put you in survival mode? No, she would not. Acting as if you already have it is, how does she show up? How does she move, take action every single day? How does she embody her goals? How does she feel safe resting? How is she dressing? How is she speaking? How is she serving her community? If you are someone that wants to show up more online, but you keep living in excuses, your next version of yourself is the person that doesn't listen to the excuses and she shows up on her stories. She posts the videos, she posts the content. She is someone who does not care what other people are going to say about her. That is acting as if you already have it. So before I let you go, I want to leave you off with two things. Spend 10 minutes today to do some EFT tapping or visualization and visualize the person who already has your goals. Visualize it being safe to receive that kind of money, to receive more clients, to receive your dreamiest of dream clients. Visualize how safe it is to rest and what comes with resting. Then I want you to take one action with intention and go do the thing that you said that you were going to do months ago. Whether it's showing up on stories, whether it's finally starting that TikTok account, whether it's finally sending an email to your email list. And if you're like, this is cool and all, I'm ready to dive in more, but I don't want to do it by myself. Soft Mama CEO gives you the support, the hands-on, high-level, high-touch support that helps you shift your mindset, do the identity work, but also build the strategy that supports it. All of that happens inside of Soft Mama CEO. This is the core of what we do inside of Soft Mama CEO. I help you blend strategy, nervous system regulation, identity work, and brain science all together so that your success actually feels sustainable. You can decide to hustle your way to six figures and be burnt out, stuck in survival mode, or you can decide to get the support that your business and your body crave. So that way you're not forcing the energy, you're simply on top of it, enjoying the ride. And that requires a system that trusts itself. And that is what you're going to build inside of Soft Mama CEO. So if 2026 feels like it's asking more out of you, that's because it is. It's going to stretch you. It's going to push you to become that new person. 2025 was meant to stretch you thin and shed off all of the layers. So 2026 is going to ask you to finally become that person. And if it feels resistant, if it feels hard, that is a clear sign that you need to do the nervous system work. You got to do the inner healing work. You got to remove the blocks, because once you rewire your brain to feel safe to receive what is coming to you, what is already yours, it's not going to feel like effort. Everything is going to click into place. It's going to be aligned. More capacity, more money, more trust in yourself. The universe can only deliver what your nervous system is willing to hold. Thank you for tuning in to this week's episode of Business and Brunch. Happy 2026, and here is to manifesting and building the business and life of our dreams. If you enjoyed this episode, don't forget to give me a great review, subscribe, so that way you can tune in next week. Don't forget to tag me on Instagram at Alicia Croce or DM me again at Alicia Croce if you have any questions on how to remove these manifestation blocks, or if you want a custom EFT tapping or visualization. I'm happy to walk you through it. And don't forget to check out Soft Mama CEO, where you have 12 months with me as your business partner to help you shift into this identity, remove the manifestation blocks, build the systems and strategies for a simple six-figure business that is spacious and supportive. I'll see you next week on Business and Brunch.